In the top stories, build-out of Lagreet North to commence in 2022, Guyana's Labor Ministry recoups $33 million from errant employees for 2021, and 4 students killed in Jumping Castle accident in Australia. Hello and welcome to the ZIZ Midday Newscast. Today is Thursday, December 16th, 2021. I am Mervan Thompson. Nationally, residents living in Lagreet Extension will be one step closer to being homeowners following the build-out of the area in 2022. That's according to Honorable Akila Barrenden-Nisbet, Parliamentary Representative for Constituency 3, during her presentation on Day 2 of the Appropriation Bill 2022-2021 at National Assembly.
The build-out of Lagreet will start in 2022. I have been told that the approvals have been granted to begin the infrastructural work, that is, the roads, water, and electricity. I am also advised that the Ministry of Sustainable Development will also be finalizing all of the land title issues for the people of Lagreet. And I'm so happy to say that I have been told that the commitment have been made through capital projects within the Ministry of Sustainable Development to see this come to completion in 2022. So the people of Lagreet can be rest assured.
Earlier this year, the government of St. Kitts and Nevis, through the Ministry of Sustainable Development, decided to offer discounted land rates interest-free to approximately 90 residents who reside on properties at Lagreet Extension without title, right, or lease. The project is dubbed Lagreet North, where the residents are encouraged to engage in backyard farming and gardening. They will not be permitted to fence their properties with galvanized or galvalume or rear ruminants in the area. Other constituents have expressed their desire to be homeowners, according to Minister Barrenden-Nisbet from her one-on-one consultations.
And I've been given the commitment that in 2022 we will see the distribution of lands within the constituency, as well as the commitment from housing that we will see somewhat begin on persons being able to have their homes built within the constituency in 2022. And so I just want the people of Number 3 to understand that these things have been committed and will be seen through fruition.
Additionally, residents of West Farm, Shadwell West, Dewars Estate, and Buckley Circle will see the completion of roads in the respective areas in 2022. Secondly, on the local scene, confidence in the economy of St. Kitts and Nevis remains high, particularly in the business community, in spite of the challenges being created by the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic. Minister of Industry and Commerce, Senator Wendy Phipps, highlighted this in the hundreds of new businesses that were registered this year. In giving a breakdown of the figures, the Honorable Minister said that 17 of the new entities are registered in the manufacturing sector, quote, and up until December 2020, there were already some 160 registered manufacturers functioning mostly as micro-producers, end quote. In addition, a total of 214 new businesses were registered in the category of general business and trading. The total number of business entities registered in that category up to December 2020 was approximately 550. Minister Phipps further noted that there are now approximately 6,341 licensed businesses in St. Kitts and Nevis. Businesses that may not be current in their tax returns or filings with the Inland Revenue Department because of the pandemic will be assisted by the IRD. And finally, on the local scene, the St. Kitts Electricity Company, SCELEC, is issuing a final notice to all customers in arrears to bring their accounts up to date. According to a press release, a disconnection drive will be carried out in the following areas from Thursday, 16th December. Bastyr to Limekeel and Frigate Bay, Thursday 16th to Tuesday 28th. St. Peter's from Thursday 16th to Tuesday 21st. Connery to Diet Bay, Monday 20th December to Thursday 23rd December. Camps to St. Paul's from Tuesday 21st to Tuesday 20th and to Tuesday 28th. Meanwhile, commercial disconnections are ongoing. Customers in arrears should visit the main office immediately to clear all outstanding arrears. Skellig says it is aware that some customers are experiencing financial hardship and that those customers should apply for the deferred payment arrangement plan. Payments can be made using the company's online bill payment portal by logging on to ebiz.skellig.kn or through the automated customer support portal by calling 465-2000. Customers can also use their bank portals or visit the main branch to make a payment. For more Skellig updates, persons are asked to visit the Facebook page Skellig-St. Kitts Electricity Company Limited or log on to www.skellig.kn. We move now to news on the regional scene. In Guyana, delinquent employers who owed outstanding wages, annual leave remuneration, and termination benefits to their employees were forced to fork up in excess of $33 million through interventions by the Ministry of Labor. More details from Tamika Rodney.
A number of employers in contravention of the labor laws have either been hauled before the courts or compelled to pay outstanding wages and other benefits to their employees by the Ministry of Labor thus far for 2021. The ministry has reported that it was able to retrieve $33 million for the affected employees to date. Some of the other violations on record so far for 2021 were the non-payment of overtime at the time-and-a-half rate outlined by the law by prominent companies. Labor Minister Joseph Hamilton emphasized that there should be no compromise where this is concerned.
The law is clear. For your administration and your operations, yes, you might want people to work 12-hour shifts. The employees are in agreement with you to work 12-hour shifts. But that must be it must be in the confines of recognizing that every day you have to pay them 4 hours overtime. It can't be you pay them a lump sum.
He further disclosed that some companies were found to be offering workers contracts to evade certain responsibilities. The minister conveyed that at one company, employees were being hired with a temporary permanent status, which required a renewal of their employment contracts monthly. However, many of the workers had been employed for more than 3 years. He pointed out that this practice is in conflict with the labor laws, which outline pellucidly a minimum probation of 3 months and 6 months maximum before a decision is made to confirm the services of any employee.
Why I was aggravated, that was deliberate, because it removes responsibility from the employer. NIS, the fact is, as an employer, they should be responsible for the tax remitting to the GRA. And let, for instance, you might have issues that are compensatory because the person is not a permanent staff, so to speak.
In total, for this year to date, the ministry has received in excess of 711 reports of labor disputes. 80% have been resolved, while 40 are active. Tamika Rodney reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
Grenada's Minister for Labor, Peter David, says the industrial clash between the Grenada Port Authority and its workers has been resolved, and as such, Grenadians will not encounter any difficulties in getting their barrels and other items at the port this Christmas season. We hear more in this GBN News report.
According to Minister for Labor Peter David, operations at the Grenada Port Authority will be a smooth sail for the rest of the year as the industrial dispute between the authority and the Grenada Technical and Allied Workers Union, the representatives for the workers, has been resolved. After workers' industrial action on Monday, the minister said he initiated a sit-down with all parties involved to fix the issue.
On Monday morning, when we realized an issue was about to erupt, I pulled the parties before me. We met on Monday and we met on Tuesday. And I must say that while there was some heated debate, some contention, some issues, eventually I think both parties made compromises. Both parties found a way. And I want to thank all of the parties involved for their their willingness to find a solution. So we found a solution yesterday evening. I think we finished about 7:30 last night. We were able to find a solution. So I think we will have, and God's willing, something else doesn't arise, but we should have a smooth sailing through Christmas at the port.
Minister David said that one of their concerns was how the industrial action will affect the Grenadian public and the collection of their goods on the port, further disrupting lives. The minister gave a brief understanding of what was the final agreement of both parties.
The solution that was found was in keeping with the collective agreement, that they are going to receive the bonus according to the collective agreement. It was a mandatory amount according to the agreement of 2% and an amount above the 2%. Depending on the performance of the port. But that was the main issue. And there were some other issues in relation to past and old disputes that we resolved. But I would leave it to the union and to the port to give the details of the...
GBN sought comment from TAU on the matter, but was told that all officers were presently engaged and unable to give any comments. However, on Tuesday, President General of the Grenada Technical and Allied Workers Union told the Senate that the deadline for a resolution was that day.
Grenada Ports Authority has been given up to today, the end of the working day today, to resolve this matter. This is not a threat, through you, Mr. Deputy President, but given where we are with COVID and everything else, that whatever takes place at the port after today is totally in the hands of the management.
For GBN News, I am Rena Pear-Thomas reporting.
And internationally, 4 children were killed and several more badly injured in Australia following strong winds, lifting up an inflatable but jumping castle into the air during an end-of-year school celebration, causing them to fall 10 meters. We hear more in this report.
Their faces said everything. Police distraught in a playground. Part of the jumping castle tangled in a tree after the last day of school began with a horrifying sound.
Next minute I looked over to the school grounds and then I saw part of the jumping castle flying up in the air.
Year 6 students were the first to have their turn when, hit by a freak gust of wind, their inflatable playground took off and children fell.
It appears they may have fallen from a height of approximately 10 metres.
On the oval, down on the bank. Flying everywhere? They were just everywhere. It's sad. And, it heartbroke me seeing 2 children get resuscitated.
Police later confirmed it was even worse.
I can now sadly confirm that 4 children have died and 4 are in a critical condition and 1 in a serious condition.
2 boys, 2 girls could not be saved. More were airlifted from Devonport's Hillcrest Primary as desperate parents raced to the gates for news.
It's not going to be the same.
Again?
Yeah, never again.
It's simply inconceivable that this shocking incident has occurred.
Just unthinkably heartbreaking. A horrific accident, a freak accident that will leave families completely devastated.
And so many witnesses, teachers and young classmates who saw all of it unfold. The investigation is already underway, and one key question is how the castle was anchored down before it blew away.
People are still grieving. We're still at the scene investigating those matters.
Robert Ovadia, 7.
Cases in the United States are again rising rapidly as the Omicron strain of the coronavirus spreads, threatening to overwhelm hospitals already struggling with the Delta variant. Al Jazeera's Patty Culhane reports.
1 year ago today, many Americans woke up with fresh hope. The first vaccines had been administered. For some, it seemed like the beginning of the end. But now, 1 year later, more people have died since the vaccine was available than before. 500,000 people, bringing the death toll in the U.S. to more than 800,000. And with the new Omicron variant that is more contagious, officials are warning that another spike in cases is coming, but mostly for the unvaccinated.
Our booster vaccine regimens work against Omicron. At this point, there is no need for a variant-specific booster.
It's gotten so bad in the state of Minnesota that hospitals took out this full-page ad, practically begging people to get vaccinated, writing, "We're heartbroken, we're overwhelmed." Dr. Kenneth Holman signed the letter.
They are disappointed, upset, angry, frustrated, saddened. You take the entire range of human emotion, and you will see it in our staff. And we have to remember to continue to care for our patients no matter where they come from, what their vaccination status is.
And the spike is having real-world consequences. Some universities are going back online. Sports games being postponed or canceled as more than 100 professional basketball, football, and hockey players have been diagnosed with COVID. The U.S. Secretary of State had to return early from his trip to Asia after a reporter on his plane tested positive, leading officials to urge people to take precautions.
We should be having public indoor masking for everyone, vaccinated or unvaccinated. That is 90% of the counties right now.
But only 8 states have mandated masks indoors, and several states have outright banned requiring masks. More proof that in the U.S. the pandemic is still a political issue, one that is having deadly consequences. Patty Culhane, Al Jazeera, Washington.
And now for the weather. Current conditions are cloudy with scattered showers, with a moderate breeze from the east-northeast at 14 to 23 miles per hour. Gusts can get as high as 35 miles per hour. The temperature for today is 25 degrees Celsius or 77 degrees Fahrenheit. Seas are 1.5 to 2.5 meters or 5 to 8 feet. A small craft advisory remains in effect for hazardous seas. Weather forecast for St. Kitts and Nevis today will be mostly cloudy with a 70% or a high chance of brief passing showers. Tonight will be partly cloudy with a 40% or a moderate chance of brief passing showers. Sunset today should be at 5:40 p.m. and sunrise tomorrow at 6:34 a.m. That brings us to the end of the ZIZ Midday Newscast. Join us this evening for these stories and more in detail. Thank you for tuning in. I'm Mervan Thompson.